Pop Talk Cinema doesn't offer any forgiveness. Today, let's not talk about the movie, The Jade Body, that Lily Parker is bringing you today. It tells the story of a snake fairy and a killer. Leone is an adult film actress with a voluptuous figure and long, slender legs. Her impressive assets allow her to dominate the adult film industry. This unrestrained woman spends her nights in various high-end hotels, entangled with different men. However, this life is shattered by the appearance of Zio Yang, a dashing and brave intelligence officer. The woman thought he was just an ordinary bed partner. After a mundane day, she woke up the next day to find her husband bursting into her house, saying she was a special agent and their organization needed her help. As for the specific mission, only her superiors knew. Of course, the woman could name her price. Zio Mei, with her big breasts and big heart, immediately asked for 100 million and demanded payment before starting work. She also mentioned a whole bunch of additional conditions, basically that there must be sufficient security during the job. Zio Yang agreed to everything. The next day, Zio Yang took Zio Mei to meet his superior. The superior opened the door and needed a woman to approach a professional killer named Zio Shui. This killer had already assassinated 36 important national figures. Not only that, Zio Shui also had accomplices. Hearing this, Sister Jia couldn't help but worry for the female lead. This honey trap couldn't be used on a group of assassins, could it? If so, Zio Mei's business would be a complete disaster. Of course, the superiors weren't crazy. They knew that no matter how capable Zio Mei was, she couldn't handle that many deals. They said Zio Mei only needed to focus on this guy named Zio Shui. They also said that Zio Shui was a policeman before becoming an assassin, and later, for some reason, he became an assassin. To understand him thoroughly, the superiors conducted a very detailed investigation. It turned out that Zio Shui and Zio Mei had a relationship when Zio Shui was a policeman. Not only that, the superiors also knew that Zio Shui had never forgotten Zio Mei and had been seeking psychological help for her trauma. It has to be said, the superiors' intelligence-gathering ability was impressive. They could totally switch to the entertainment industry. The superiors wanted Zio Mei to infiltrate Zio Shui's circle and obtain a document from him. Hearing this, Zio Mei's chest heaved, and she couldn't calm down anymore. The woman said she needed to think it over carefully because Zio Shui was also a woman's scar. This money was really hard to earn. She was afraid her acting skills weren't good enough. The concerned woman was considering whether to close the deal. Zio Yang was told about his relationship with Zio Shui 6 years ago. 6 years ago, Zio Mei was a naive girl. To make ends meet, she took a delivery job, delivering a package to a burly man in the police station. Just as she arrived and handed the package to the man, Zio Shui, a policeman, appeared. Seeing the policeman, the burly man grabbed the package and ran. Zio Shui shot him in the foot and arrested him. Next came dealing with Zio Mei. The woman confessed her crimes in an empty corridor. Zio Mei's innocent appearance gained Zio Shui's trust, and the man immediately released her. It was this arrest and release that made Zio Mei instantly fall in love with Zio Shui. That day, when Zio Shui returned home from get-off work, he was surprised to see Zio Mei waiting for him at the door. Clearly, the sweet-dressed woman had come specifically to meet him. The enthusiastic woman handed him a letter written in blood and declared that she had fallen in love with Zio Shui. However, Zio Shui felt he was unremarkable and had nothing special about him. But the next second, Zio Mei pressed herself against Zio Shui's chest, showing him with her actions that she was the one for him. Sure enough, the speed of cars in India is extraordinary. The handsome man and beautiful woman then started a relationship without any siblings or siblings. They'd spend their time nibbling on their toes, giving each other a full-body foot massage or a 360-degree massage with muscular oil. They were practically young adults, constantly peeling earwax from their ears. This PDA was so intense it made me incredibly jealous. Finally, one night, after a conversation between the handsome young man and the beautiful young woman, he packed his bags and left without saying goodbye. From then on, there was no news of him. As for the beautiful young woman, she began her life of indulgence. Back to the present, the woman heard that the handsome young man had become a killer. Her hand was in excruciating pain, and she couldn't face Zio Shui, wanting to refuse the task. Xiao Yang stopped her, saying he would do everything in his power to help her through this difficult time. It seemed Xiao Yang also liked Xiao Mei. So Xiao Yang took Xiao Mei to the hotel where Xiao Shui was staying. Xiao Mei, as planned, rang the doorbell at Xiao Shui's room. The woman, feigning a dramatic gesture, wanted to ask the man to whisper in her ear. However, the wary Xiao Shui opened the door, and upon seeing Xiao Mei, he froze, stunned for a few seconds before expressionlessly closing the door. Xiao Mei, looking utterly dejected, left. The stone, though its meaning was yet to be revealed, had already been cast. Now Xiao Mei and Xiao Yang could only wait for Xiao Shui's response. However, while Xiao Mei was napping, Xiao Shui sneaked into her room, intending to check on Fang Zi. Xiao Mei, noticing Xiao Shui's movements, couldn't help but be aroused as well. Just as they were about to get a little excited, Xiao Yang burst in. Xiao Mei was then completely jolted awake. It was all a dream. The woman's guilty conscience was stirred by this dream, leaving her completely bewildered. She then told Xiao Yang that to get closer to Xiao Shui sooner, he needed to leave for a few days. Men, and Xiao Yang had no reason to refuse, since they were only nominally a couple. So, with Xiao Shui as a witness, Xiao Mei saw Xiao Yang off. Sure enough, after Xiao Yang left, Xiao Shui appeared. The woman, seeing Xiao Shui, immediately threw a stone at him. Xiao Shui, instead of dodging, was delighted and followed her to her doorstep. But just after apologizing to Xiao Mei, he received a phone call and left. It turned out that Xiao Shui's accomplice had found the exact location of their target, Xiao Yang's superior. However, in the end, Xiao Shui and his team let the target escape. Afterwards, the superior summoned Xiao Mei and Xiao Yang said that they had lost 3 more people this time. Xiao Shui was too dangerous, and Xiao Mei didn't need to take any more risks. But Xiao Mei was incredibly determined, saying that she could definitely take down Xiao Shui and steal the information from him. The superiors could only temporarily agree to let the woman try. This time, the woman took the initiative and asked Xiao Shui to meet her in the woods by the roadside. In the letter, the woman also wrote that if he didn't come this time, they should never meet again. Then the man hurriedly left. Seeing Xiao Shui leave, Xiao Yang called Xiao Mei, telling her to hold Xiao Shui back. After hanging up, Xiao Yang sneaked into Xiao Shui's residence, searching everywhere for the confidential information he had hidden. Meanwhile, Xiao Shui met Xiao Mei in the woods. The man expressed his love to the woman, saying that he was leaving her because he loved her. He was sinking deeper and deeper into crime and didn't want to drag Xiao Mei down with him. Xiao Shui hoped this was the last time they would meet. He wished Xiao Mei happiness even without him. After saying this, the man turned and left. Unexpectedly, Xiao Mei hugged him from behind, saying she couldn't do it. Under the woman's tender offensive, the man's attitude. Just as their passion was about to reignite, Xiao Shui's phone rang. The man immediately realized someone was tampering with his computer, so he abandoned Xiao Mei and rushed back. Xiao Mei hurriedly called Xiao Yang to warn him, but the call wouldn't go through. Soon, Xiao Shui drove back to his residence. The man, armed with a gun, searched everywhere but found no one. However, he eventually discovered signs of ransacking. He deduced that this was likely related to the sudden appearance of Xiao Mei. Xiao Yang, who had escaped, called Xiao Mei and told her that Xiao Shui had been prepared and that the information he had gathered was fake. Xiao Mei's mission needed to continue. On her way back, Xiao Shui blocked her path. After she got out of the car, the angry man questioned her, asking if her boyfriend was a fake and if they were enemies sent to deceive her. Xiao Mei, of course, denied the man's baseless accusations. Even as the man pointed a gun at her and counted down, she remained steadfast. Finally, her unwavering denial earned Xiao Shui's trust, and the man hugged her. Xiao Mei wanted the woman to leave her current boyfriend and marry him. This change was a bit too fast. Not only did the scumbag sister not keep up, but Xiao Mei was also stunned by the man's sudden marriage proposal. Xiao Shui said that he didn't care about anything else now. He just wanted to be with the Xiao Mei he loved. Oh dear, seeing this, the scumbag sister felt that it was a bit hard to remember. Xiao Mei then reported Xiao Shui's proposal to Xiao Yang's superior. After learning about the situation, the superior said that he respected Xiao Mei's wishes. But Xiao Mei said that since Xiao Shui dared to point a gun at her, the nature of the matter had changed. She wanted to settle the score with the man. So she wanted to marry Zhao Shuai. Hearing this answer, Zhao Yang, who was furious, ran out and returned to the office. The man said that Zhao Mei could fool others but not herself. It was clearly her who wanted to be with Zhao Shuai. The irrational man said all sorts of nonsense. Zhao Mei said that she didn't care whether the man believed her or not. She was thinking about the big picture. Well, the scumbag sister couldn't believe it, but Zhao Yang believed her. After calming down, the man told the woman that she had lost her temper, but she was really jealous of Zhao Shuai. The thought of Zhao Mei marrying Zhao Shuai and spending every day together made her very happy. Zhao Yang was heartbroken. Hearing this, Zhao Mei silently comforted him. Meanwhile, Zhao Shuai sat in his empty house, fantasizing about his sweet married life with Zhao Mei. The next day, Zhao Mei packed her bags and left Zhao Yang. But Sister Jia couldn't understand why the two of them kissed goodbye. On Zhao Shuai's side, his companions were confused. Why did Zhao Shuai suddenly decide to drag his beloved woman into the fire? Zhao Shuai didn't answer his companions' questions, only saying that he wanted Zhao Mei by his side. As they spoke, Zhao Mei arrived at Zhao Shuai's place with her luggage. Zhao Shuai was completely unguarded around women, but his companions were somewhat wary. That night, the woman came to Zhao Shui's room and talked to him. Finally, the man took the woman to a secluded hut and found a treasured blood letter. The man said that although their time together was short, the memories would last forever. Just like this blood letter of love that Zhao Mei wrote back then, it had sustained her until now. Zhao Mei was moved by the man's confession, and the two of them passionately entwined in the dimly lit room. Meanwhile, on the other side, Zhao Shui's companions found Zhao Yang. The man subdued Zhao Yang and threw the other party's electricity. The investigation uncovered Zhao Mei's text messages, confirming she was an enemy spy. Zhao Yang managed to break free from the man's grip, and both men trembled. After a struggle, Zhao Yang shot and killed Zhao Shuai's companion. Zhao Shuai, jolted awake by the gunshot, told the woman to hide in the room while he went to investigate. Shortly after, the man returned and told Zhao Mei his companion was missing. If they couldn't find him by tomorrow, they would have to leave for safety. The woman confessed to the man that she had wanted to call Zhao Yang because she noticed the light was off next door and worried something had happened. Zhao Shuai, having heard from Wenquan, suggested Zhao Mei consider whether to stay with him or Zhao Yang. She could give him an answer the next day. After Zhao Shuai left, Zhao Mei received a call from Zhao Yang, who asked to meet her the next day. The next day, Zhao Mei said she wanted to say a final goodbye to Zhao Yang. For safety, Zhao Shuai gave her a handgun for self-defense. The woman left with the man watching her go. Zhao Mei found Zhao Yang on the beach. He had been injured in the fight with Zhao Shuai's companion the previous night. Even so, the man hadn't forgotten his mission. He handed a bottle of poison to the woman, hoping she would accept Zhao Shuai's life after obtaining the information. Under Zhao Yang's insistence, the woman had no choice but to accept the poison. Back at their residence, Zhao Mei, adhering to the principle of eliminating evil for the people, put the poison in her coffee and personally handed it to Zhao Shuai. The man took the coffee and told Zhao Mei that the reason he went from being a policeman to an assassin was because he discovered his superior's secret. He revealed that while he was bleeding on the front lines fighting drugs, his superiors were profiting from drugs and committing self-harm behind the scenes. Zhao Shuai had made a list of these people and intended to kill them one by one. However, Zhao Mei didn't believe him at all. Enraged, the man smashed the coffee cup, declaring he would fight those people to the end. But all of this was irrelevant to Zhao Mei. The man wanted Zhao Mei to take the plane ticket and money he had prepared and leave quickly, otherwise she wouldn't escape after his death. From then on, Zhao Mei didn't believe Zhao Shuai at all. She even took advantage of the man's inattention, picked up a gun from the table, and shot him dead. Panicked, Zhao Mei quickly found Zhao Yang, only to find his superior there as well. The woman gave Zhao Yang the list she had obtained. However, just as Zhao Shuai predicted, his superiors ordered Zhao Yang to deal with Zhao Mei. Seeing that Zhao Yang was hesitant to do it, his superiors had to take matters into their own hands. Unexpectedly, Zhao Yang, for love, intervened and stopped his superior, ultimately killing him as well. Zhao Yang wanted to be with Zhao Mei, For her sake, he betrayed his original intentions, yet he still couldn't win back Xiao Mei's heart. The woman, disregarding the man's threats, took the list. Enraged, Xiao Yang chased after her but couldn't catch up and shot her. However, as the man approached, the woman retaliated by shooting him twice more. Thus, Xiao Yang and Xiao Mei died. The film ends here. Although there are many logical flaws in this film, it must be said that the handsome men and beautiful women in the film make them negligible. Especially the super eye-catching female lead, with her deep, clear eyes, beautiful face, and enviable figure. Even I, the scumbag sister, was constantly distracted while watching because the female lead's too round, plump breasts were just too tempting. With a woman of such looks and figure as a girlfriend, the famous saying, "To die under a peony is to die a romantic ghost," might finally have meaning. Okay, that's all for this video. If you like it, remember to subscribe. See you next time, because the female lead's too round, plump breasts were so incredibly alluring, having a woman with that kind of looks and figure as a girlfriend. Perhaps the famous saying, "To die under a peony is to die a romantic death," truly has meaning now. Okay, that's all for this video. If you enjoyed it, remember to subscribe. See you next time, Fang Dingyuan. Because the female lead's too round, plump breasts were so incredibly alluring, having a woman with that kind of looks and figure as a girlfriend. Perhaps the famous saying, "To die under a peony is to die a romantic death," truly has meaning now. Okay, that's all for this video. If you enjoyed it, remember to subscribe. See you next time, Fang Dingyuan.